Okay, good evening. It is 12:03 on the 26th of April, 2016, and this is your pastor, Brother Isaac David Bregman, with the Christian Hearts Christian Fellowship Online Ministry. As I said before, each time you hear me speaking, or if you see me speaking and preaching, then you are attending one of my church services, because my church is an internet church, online church, and I want to talk to y'all today about many subjects. I've seen things going on in this world I have never thought I'd ever see in this world. I've seen people, this is coming straight from the heart right now. We'll get into some Bible scriptures in a minute, but I got to get some stuff off of my chest. I have never seen it so bad these days, till it gets to the point where we got to look at people dead in the eyeballs and say, why are you doing these things? I've seen women get with men and then turn around and find out those men were dirty dogs, were dogs of Satan. And I don't mean to call nobody no names, but you got to understand, if you're going to sit there and you're going to sit there and you're going to sit there and be acting like you're so macho and you're so a man for God and you're so a man for the woman that you say you care about, then why are you going around 1 minute? If the woman don't do what you want, man, you'll kick her out your life. And I don't get that. Then the man that does want to come around the woman and do her good, well, she'll kick him out because she's so hurt. I know this because there's many people in this world. And also, there's also these people that will give you a job in this world, but they didn't tell you the whole details of your job. So you ended up not getting to do the job you were supposed to do because you didn't know about the story called, they never told you the whole story about that job. If they had of, you would have known about it. I'm telling you folks, it's getting ridiculous in this day and age when you can't even talk about nothing because everything you want to talk about in this world is wrong. Give you an example. Say there's a guy walking down the street. Walking down the street is not a bad idea unless you have God with you. If you have God with you, it's okay. If you don't have God with you, it's not okay. I'm going to tell you something, folks. I've seen it happen in this world where there's some crazy stuff going on, and it ain't right to do that. Like you could talk about a man walking down the street, and you don't know that ain't an angel walking down the street. But yet we pick on these people because we don't know them. I know some folks that walk down the street I have to be careful about, but there's some I don't know about. And I'll tell you something. I'm going to tell you something, people. God needs to intervene on every person that comes your way, because if he don't, the devil will. And the devil will tell you straight in your face what's going on. I have not said something to somebody in my life recently. I said recently that I may have said things in my recent times that I wish I hadn't have said. I'll admit to that. But where I'm going with this is you ain't ever going to hear me say something when I'm speaking my mind that I wasn't really big and bold about. Because I'm getting tired of people getting hurt. I don't like God having to sit there and cry because somebody hurt them. Because God cries. I believe that every time a human being got hurt by another, God cries. And we're sitting there talking about it. We're talking about how the Lord is doing, and yet some of us don't even care about the Lord, and some of us do. Now, what is the point of this? Because you don't really get God. You don't get what's going on. I'm going to tell you something. How are you going to, Lord, how are you going to sit there and talk about what's going on in this world and what ain't going on in this world if you don't get it in your head? I done told you people, you got to wake up and wise up and smart up, but you won't do it, some of you, because you're too busy stuck in a life that you don't understand. Why is my life not going somewhere? Why is my life not going somewhere? Because you need to pray, seek God every day, and have you a place in your home where you pray to God. If it's your couch, you kneel down at the couch and pray. If it's an actual prayer center that you made in your home, like a shrine to God, then go to your prayer shrine and pray. And shrines does not mean always a idol that you're worshiping that has nothing to do with God, but you say it does. It has to do with, even if it's a shelf if you have like a shelf in your house, like a bookshelf or something, and you're not using it for books, you're using it for other things, if there's a level on that shelf you can use, like a box, there's a top level and a bottom level. Right there's the box. You could use it for a prayer shrine to God. Get there and pray. Do it a ceremony that you and God approve of to worship Him, if God's in it. And I'm telling you, folks, we're going to come to a day when we're going to see the devil wide open. And we need to realize he's already trying stuff now. Look at all this stuff. Me and some people I know of right now, not naming names because I know I want to protect the innocent. So I say it this way. Me and people I know of, we were looking at Facebook one day together. We seen about this here sicko cannibal man. He talking about wanting to eat a little child for his last meal. And they actually were going to do it. Now what's the world coming to when that junk was going on? And we're sitting here now arguing about the transgendered bathrooms. I'm not saying I'm for it or against it. I'm saying that God's got to deal with it the way He wants it done. If He likes it, that's fine. If He don't like it, that's fine too. But we got to respect what God wants. Everybody's talking about what man wants, what man needs, what man is about. But they ain't talking about what God wanted. They're talking about what man wants. I know people right now, if you don't do what they want, they kick you out of their life because they want people in their life that they can control and manipulate and do things with. And look, you and I know we got to stand up to people, tell them how we feel. If anybody, and I did mean anybody, do something that ain't right, ain't according to God's rules and laws, and you got to stand up and say, sorry folks, but we got to do what God said. I mean, we read things in the Bible and we don't take them for serious. You can't even, if I was y'all, I would try my hardest to put Psalms 23 in your daily prayers along with the Lord's Prayer. Am I sitting here, standing here talking to you about this for nothing? No, I'm telling you folks, we're going to a day when we're going to see God looking at us like, did you do what I said? And if you say no, you say, that's a lie because I've seen it. He sees what you're doing. But yet you don't even want to talk to Him about that. It's more like, I didn't say this, I didn't do it. God saw it. God knows what you did, but you want to talk about what you want to do with your life, and you don't want to talk about what God wants for your life. Come on, folks. We got to get it right now. I am not sitting here telling the whole world about it if you don't care about it. I knew people in this world that would bend over backwards, would have done everything they could to get what they wanted done, but yet they wouldn't bend over backwards to do what God said. Why are you going to bend over backwards for Satan, but you won't bend over backwards for God? What's up with that? I've done a movement with my body that looks like half bent backwards. But you know what? The real bending over backwards, you may think it's a physical thing, but it's a spiritual thing. And if you don't do it right, you're spiritually bending over for the devil. Bending over backwards. You want that back to crack for good? Let it crack for God. I'll tell you. I've seen it how many times. There'll be people look you dead in the eyeballs, ask you to do something for them. If you can't do it, they'll say, well, get the mess out of my life. Get the mess out of my life. No. What you need to be saying is, get thy life out of my life, Satan, and take your life back to hell where you came from. I rebuke you, Satan, in the name of God is what you need to be saying, folks, but you won't say it because you're too busy sitting on your butt, or as they say, duffs, and not doing a thing about it. If I make anybody mad, that ain't them getting mad, that's Satan. He's done shut up in their bones and got mad at me for what I had to say. I've seen it more than once. I've seen the devil get mad at me more than once because I said something good. This 34-year-old man, he don't smoke no cigarettes and he don't drink no alcohol. I may drink too much coffee, but I say that's a whole lot better than all this here booze you put in your system, all these cigarettes. I know someone right now that I think dear of, and I won't name names, that is smoking right now. I know two of them actually that's smoking right now, and they need to stop. One of them I knew before the other one, and I know them both, and they still smoking. They're smoking that leaf called tobacco. And I worry for them. I don't want them to get emphysema and cancer. Oh, they say they ain't going to quit one minute, and the next minute, oh, they'll quit one day. But you know what? They haven't looked at you the way they're supposed to about them cigarettes. And no, I know I may have hundreds and more people around me smoking, but you know what? Oh, Satan, he's smoking too. His nose, he's getting all flared up, ready to get something started, but we ain't going to let him get started because we got to stand up and say, Satan, sit your butt down in your throne of hell. There ain't no need to be trying to make a racket. I've seen how many times you say something on Facebook to a family member of yours, doing what God told you to do, saying what God told you to say to them. Next thing you know, well, they done banned you from talking to them. They done blocked your butt because you done something right. Now when you do something wrong and they're doing wrong, oh, let them talk to you. They'll talk to you from the day you were born to the day you were dead if you talk their language. But you talk God's language, they'll kick you out as fast as your hair spin around. I mean, give you a 360 head. I'm serious. And how in the world can you live that way? Live in a world where you want to talk about what you want to talk about instead of what God told you to talk about. God didn't say we got to sit there and act like a bunch of heathens. He said we got to sit there and act like people that care about Him. You don't like what I said, that's your business. But you know what? Devil's coming for you one day. If you don't rebuke him in the name of God right now in your home, you're going to see a mess. I mean, I don't do everything perfect. I'm not saying I'm perfect. I'm saying I got problems too. If I'm preaching to you, I'm preaching to me too. Can't you lay your joints down? Can't you lay your burdens down? Can't you lay your cigarettes down? Can't you lay your burdens down? Can't you lay your alcohol down? Can't you lay your burdens down? No, you can't because you don't want to. Oh yeah, you could, but you don't want to, because if you did want to, and I don't care what color of the rainbow it is, if you want God, you're getting God. I am not a person to have limits on who hears what I say. I preach to every color of the rainbow. I don't say I'm gay because I get tired of that. How many times you got to say when you talking about preaching to every color of the rainbow, oh, you're gay because you said rainbow when it comes to society. Excuse me, many people use rainbow in society. They didn't mean they were gay. I'm getting sick and tired of people using that mess. I'm talking about living in a world where you can talk to people about anything you want to. As long as it's about what God wanted you to say, you could say you were preaching to a rainbow world. Meaning you preaching to every color there is. I'm preaching to the black man, the white man, the Mexican man, the Native American man, everybody. Because it's not this color life matters, that color life matters. It's a world that matters and doesn't need to go to hell. What's it to you to sit there and say, well, white life matters, black, Mexican. All life matters. It lives, it breathes, it is in the world. So don't sit there and tell me I'm supposed to sit there and be, oh, this kind of power, this kind of power. No, I'm not like that. You want me to say a certain power? All right, God power, God power, God power. That's what you should be saying. Not all this about, oh, this group, and this group, and this group. Now hating everything in the world, expecting you to hate them, or hate everything in the world. And if you don't, you're getting in trouble. That's just the devil talking. We don't need to hear the devil talk. We need to hear God talk. God's the ruler, not old Satan. And all this hating. If you got to dislike something, dislike Satan. Hate Satan. Don't hate people on this earth. Don't hate things on this earth. Because we're not supposed to hate things of the earth. We're supposed to hate things of Satan. As Satan itself. So get that through your head, folks. Get them out your head. Get them out now. I don't need to hear you say it more than once. The devil's this. The devil's that. And you say, well, I didn't say that. You might have not directly said it, but indirectly you did with your actions and words you used. Come on now. How many times I got to tell you folks, we ain't sitting here, we ain't standing here trying to cure the world of God. We try to put more God in people. Some people, if it's a gas tank and God was the gas, you'd be on empty. You wouldn't even know what God was about. Yet you're telling me, oh, God's this. And don't let somebody tell you what God is if they don't know what they're talking about. Because the devil can preach God to you. Oh yeah, the devil can tell you what God is, but the devil's interpretation of God is, brother, you don't need God. You don't need God. You need me. I'll get you everything. Oh no, devil, you done tried that with God one time. That didn't work. Because look at Jesus in the wilderness. That didn't work, did it? So what you think is going to work on those that stand for God? I don't think so. Let it go now. I don't care. I want the whole world to hear me. So I don't have a preference on colors. Because to me, only one color called invisible. And what does that mean? It Means there's no color when it comes to God. And people tell me, oh, God is a black man, God is a white man, God is a man. No, God is multicolored. That means he preaches to everybody. When he speaks, it's for the whole entire world. So don't tell me all this sick mess you think you want me to believe in. And I've done had devil fight with me recently because somebody had to flare up at me. Somebody had to flare up at like they want someone to do something for them. And if they don't do it, they're going to have a cussing fit when they're supposed to be Christians. Oh, so I don't go do this and that for you. So you go cuss me out or cuss someone out. Oh, what's the big deal about that? Oh, you can't just sit there and say, well, what if they can't do it at that time? Find some other way to do it. I was like, you know what? Not everybody can jump and run when you say, oh, we got to jump up like, jump up and down, jump up and down. Nope. That ain't how it goes. You need to get it straight right now. Now, before it's too late. But if you don't, someone will. Get your head bashed in one day by the devil when you didn't listen to God. I mean, how many times we got to say it? And I told you already, listen to God. But nah, some of y'all are too busy sitting there pointing fingers or spoons or forks or whatever you got in your head at me and all kinds of people for being good. That's your business. You want to speak like that, go right ahead. I know what I know. And that people need to quit all these actions of acting like they don't know what they're doing. Because if you really don't know what you're doing, then I understand. But when you're living in a world, I know what I'm doing, I just don't want to do it. That tells me you didn't want to do the right thing to start with. You wanted to fuss, fight, and argue with everybody that told you the right way to do something. God said, thou shalt do as I say, not thou shalt do as I won't, unless it all works together. If you're doing something you want to do and God wanted you to do it too, that's a different story. Go ahead and do it. But if the devil said, you want to do this, go right ahead. If the devil said do it, no, don't you dare even do it. Tell me why you want to do it. I'm going to have to make a new song for that. Tell me why, sinners. Tell me why you want to do what the devil tells you to do. Oh, why? I don't know. How'd you think God's bad? How'd you think, oh, God is bad? That's why you sinners want to do what Satan said. That's right. I know I'm singing it. I'm preaching it. What you talking about? You don't sit there, devil, tell me I'm wrong. I may not live perfect, but at least I live. At least I got somewhere. At least I got some finances. I can take care of myself with God's help. I got help. I got God's help. It's better help than you'll give. You'll get me 6 feet under or in jail, or both. And I don't think so. No. Sit your tail down, devil. You ain't got nowhere with me. You don't go nowhere with me. I'm going to tell you something. I have to do me some speaking right now. And my speaking is going on the subject, the same subject that other people have probably spoke on before. But my take on it is, I want you to hear it from my take. I don't care how many times it's done misspoke before, but I gotta do this. I got to. If I don't, I'll feel guilty for not doing it. And it may sound different than what you're used to because of the book I'm using, okay? So forgive me for that. Excuse me for a little bit. There may be some silence while I find the page. I should have done it, but I got so into what I was doing with y'all till I didn't think about it. Okay, hold on. Okay, here we go. This is Psalms 23. You, Lord, are my shepherd. I will never be in need. You let me rest in fields of green grass. You lead me to streams of peaceful water, and you refresh my life. You are true to your name, and you lead me along the right paths. I may walk through valleys as dark as death, but I won't be afraid. You are with me, and your shepherd's rod makes me feel safe. You treat me to a feast while my enemies watch. You honor me as your guest, and you fill my cup until it overflows. Your kindness and love will always be with me each day of my life, and I will live forever in your house, Lord. Now you think that's a different version of Psalms 23, that great prayer. Now we're going to go to Psalms 24 here in this book. The earth and everything on it, including its people, belong to the Lord. The world and its people belong to him. The Lord placed it all on the oceans and rivers. Who may climb the Lord's hill or stand in his holy temple? On those who do right for the right reasons and do worship idols or tell lies